Coming to you live once again, it's your boy Wex breaking the Lawson for another AEW Dynamite review. But before I get into the review, we got a new episode of the Kayfabe Comparisons podcast this Saturday, and we did the classic 1996 WCW Bash at the Beach versus the current AEW Beach Break from last week. It was a little bit difficult there to judge which one was better. Some of the shit didn't hold up as good as I thought it would, but it was solid. Hope you check it out. Let's get into that Dynamite review. Alright, getting right into it, the first match of the night, we got Darby Allin defending his TNT title against the bad boy Joey Janela, and what I thought was going to be them just fucking killing each other actually was a solid fucking TV wrestling match, and it just showed that they can still work their insane style within the confines of like a decently paced match instead of some chaos fucking wild the whole time. You can control chaos at the certain points, which are great, and it was a fucking great match. All types of fucking sick shit. One of the sickest counters I've ever seen, the springboard coffin drop into the German suplex by Joey Janela, and he also did a tope suicida with an elbow that Excalibur called an elbow suicida, and he actually said it later on again when someone else did it. I've never heard that until tonight, and he used it twice. The match got really fucking crazy. Lots of hard shots, hard-hitting efforts from both. Lots of close near falls. An avalanche code red from the top from Darby Allin to Joey Janela. That shit just got fucking intense, and he was really working on that arm really hard for like most of the match, and they were doing all the hammerlock reverses, flipping around. He was really laying into that arm, working it hard. He did not work Joey's gut, but Joey's working on the gut a bit, it looks like. Working the gut, working on the gut, I don't know. Darby Allin ended up picking up the victory, but dude, one of my favorite matches of the night, probably one of my favorite Darby Allin or Joey Janela matches. It was just really fucking great, and I like, dude, come on, nah, but seriously, great fucking match, possibly match of the night. And up next, we got a little backstage segment, a little private chat, not a private party to get confused, but a private chat between Sammy Guevara and MJF, and MJF is being MJF, and Sammy goes in there and he's like, I know what you're doing, you're trying to take over the inner circle, then he realizes he's being recorded, so he throws MJF's phone, socks him in the gut, and MJF, let's say for the rest of the night, sells the fuck out of that gut all night. He later said it's his ribs, but he got punched in the gut, so.
Not a gut.
This is a gut show. Alright, we want your comments down below. King of the gut in AEW. But like I said, I've been telling y'all motherfuckers for weeks now that Sammy Guevara and MJF was bound to explode. I told you.
He did tell you.
He heard me.
I was there.
I know Lonnie heard me. Alright, the next match we get Cody Rhodes teaming up with Big Shotty Lee Johnson, taking on Peter Avalon and Cesar Bonone. I think I said it right. I don't know. Basically, it started off like a classic solid tag team match. They isolated Lee Johnson, then Cody got what I would call a lukewarm tag because it wasn't really much of a hot tag, and I guess he ended up actually hurting his shoulder, so the rest of the match was just Lee Johnson going in there, and he ended up picking up the victory, making him look strong, and he did a really sick move. It was a pump handle fisherman's neck breaker. It was really fucking cool. I don't know how to, I've never seen that before, but it was a nice move from Lee Johnson. They celebrated afterwards, and he was thanking everybody in the goddamn world. He's the 99th member of the Nightmare family at this point, but he did get an official contract for AEW, which is cool, but I don't know what's gonna happen now to Cody. Is he gonna be able to face Shaq now that he's all fucked up in the shoulder? I mean, if Shaq beats the fuck out of him like he did that plexiglass on TNT, then Big Shotty Lee Johnson thanked everybody in the Nightmare family except for QT Marshall, which was right behind him, so is it an angle? Is it an angle? If they post it on Instagram, it's definitely an angle, but I don't want to see QT versus fucking Lee Johnson. No. But alright, we got a little Young Bucks promo with the Good Brothers where, you know, they were about damn near crossing the line, almost saying some smiz whiz kiz blowing shit on TV that they couldn't say, but I love the Good Brothers here. But obviously still got the weird manipulation thing going on with Don Callis, and either they're playing stupid or they really just don't know what the fuck's going on. They're a little hesitant to do the Too Sweet on TV because I don't know if that's still cease and desist, but everyone did it. Matt kind of half-assed it, but I did like that. I heard there was a nice little NXT shot at the ratings from the Good Brothers in that little segment. It's a little underhanded, but I heard it. I liked it. You can Too Sweet me for that one. The Young Bucks are going to defend their tag team championships against Private Party. Not Private Party, what the fuck? Proud and Powerful, the wrong PP team. They're going to defend their titles against Proud and Powerful because they're just fucking hyped up, even though they're not the official tag team of the Inner Circle. They're a tag team of the Inner Circle. Next up, we get one of two Hangman Adam Page segments, and this time was him walking past the Dark Order, and they're back stopping him like, hey, hey, and he's just like, I gotta keep going, and Johnny Hungy wants to catch him doing the flippy, but it's not gonna happen right now. Up next, we got the bastard Pac. I never know exactly what to call him because I feel like the commentators all call him something different, against Dolph Ziggler's brother, Ryan Nemeth. And again, basically, this was a showcase for Pac. He just beat the fuck out of him most of the match. Nemeth got a few little spots in, he got that little stand-up DDT, but dude, goddamn, Pac is a beast. He's just an overall, all-around solid fucking wrestler. We talked about that shit last week. I think I even talked about it on a podcast, maybe, about these British wrestlers, dude, like Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, Pac, like, they're like small, strong, fucking, what's a good word? Like, how can I describe that?
Big. They're little, but they're big.
They little, but they big at the same time. But just like JR said about Pac, there's no wasted motion in this match. Everything is slick and smooth, and he's very decisive in his finisher, and I love the classic, the Black Arrow into the Brutalizer. It just makes it that much more intense. I'm loving this shit with Pac. Let's see if this leads to anything. Probably just a showcase to show how badass he is, and that's probably the deal right there. I'm legit just loving this Dark Order juice right now. That's not even that's a shoot right there. All right, up next we got Y2J, Chris Jericho, and MJF. Y2JF, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I just kind of riffed that there, but going up against the acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Max Caster was spitting some hot fire before this match, and he had a really good line that I enjoyed. Chris Jericho sucks like a mosquito. I hope your bones aren't as fragile as your ego. That was hot. That's bars right there, baby. All the way, baby. But MJF was selling the fuck out of his gut, or his ribs, or whatever you want to call it, like he was Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam, just flipping and flopping all over the place, overdoing it. And like, I kind of wrote a joke down. It's not really that funny, but there was nice teamwork from the Acclaim working on his ribs. But is his ribs hurting a rib on his ribs? Think about it. But Bowens did this sick, like, oh my god! Anthony Bowens did this sick Irish whip hop over back reversal that I've never seen before that I was really impressed with. They hit the boombox cheap shot for the near fall, and I thought they were going to get the win, but we got a little bit of inner circle interference, and your boy Chris Jericho hit the Judas effect on him for the win. As they're celebrating post-match, Sammy Guevara's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring and he grabs the mic and he's like, all right, I told y'all, any more fuckery from MJF? I told you on like whatever date, he mentions the exact date, sometime back in December. He's like, I'm done with the inner circle. I quit. It's basically a mic drop. He turns around and dips. It's over. And not as quite as good as Shane, but I mean, it's up there. Good for a rookie. Sammy Guevara walks away. I knew this shit was gonna happen. The imploding of the inner circle is happening right before our eyes. And I'm telling you, Sammy Guevara is gonna have that breakout babyface run that I was talking about months ago, weeks ago. He's pinning him, okay? It's just a pin. It's a pin.
Well, grow up. They're friends.
Up next, we get the second part of your Hangman Adam Page segment of the night. We get Matt Hardy and him at the bar, hanging out, drinking, chilling, and they're talking about the contract. He's like, hey man, just sign with me, cut me out 30%, I can make you a huge star, and once you start making all that money, 30%'s not gonna be shit. And he gets him basically shit-faced, shit-canned, and tries to manipulate him and get him to sign this contract. He has the camera in there, and he's like, look, I want you to document this, because even though he might not remember this, we gotta have this on camera, he's signing the contract. But, which a lot of people didn't notice, and I didn't catch the first time, caught it the second time when I rewatched it at work making my notes, pulled out another piece of paper and signed it, and then got Matt to sign it, switching the contracts right beneath our noses, right before our eyes. So I'm really intrigued to see what happens with this shit right here. We don't know what it's gonna be. Is he gonna own Private Party now? Is he gonna own the contracts to Private Party now? Are they gonna owe him money instead of the $12 bit? We'll see. All right, your boy Sting comes out with Tony Schiavone for a little promo, little video thing, but before he can really get going, he gets cut off and a video comes up and it shows Darby Allin in the parking lot in a body bag, and they're zipping him up, and it's Team Taz. They tie him up on a rope to the bag and hook it to a car, and they just start dragging the motherfucker all the way around the parking lot. And Sting's like, all right, I'm gonna go get him, and he like kind of half-ass walks his way to go save Darby, but they're basically building this shit up. We know the street fight's happening at Revolution. I don't know how much more hype we can have for this. Obviously, we're gonna have another week, or another couple weeks, I guess, of Sting and them cutting promos back and forth. Maybe we'll see some physicality, hopefully before the street fight, because it's getting a little dull. Gotta hype me back up, baby. Then we get another segment, a very segment-heavy show this episode. Kenny Omega's actually out playing golf with Don Callis, and Alex Marvez giving a little interview, and he's basically saying, I don't need to prepare for this match. I'm the best in the world. I already know what I can do. Like, there's no reason for this. I'm just gonna play some goddamn golf. And Callis cheats, help him get an eagle. He's out there on the links, hitting it up. After that eagle, it's funny, he grabs the ball and sticks it in Mark Vez's pocket and says, here's a little souvenir, buddy. I like that. A nice little touch, a nice little layer to that heel character. Now we're getting back to some fucking wrestling. Wrestling for the first round of the AEW World Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament, Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa, and this was a goddamn hard-hitting match. And really surprisingly, Layla Hirsch did a lot of high flying, which not really used to seeing her doing. She usually stays right on the mat, so she mixed it up a little bit, but her mat work was still incredible in this. Thunder Rosa was incredible, and I would really like to see Layla Hirsch get the victory, but of course Thunder Rosa's the bigger star. The top dogs are going to push her. She does get the victory to move on in this tournament. I'm really intrigued. This is going to be a fun tournament. I think it's going to end up being something between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa in the finals somehow. I guess the semis, because it's not going to work in the finals because it's a Japanese bracket versus an American bracket, but I see a big match between them down the line in this tournament. And Riho's coming back. We got a bunch of Japanese wrestlers. All the shit. It's going to be a cool tournament. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe this will be a way to save the women's division in AEW. Like I've said before, it's not that good. Like a couple of my friends have said, Mr. Know-It-All Daniel Schaefer from the podcast, he's often said the worst booked women's division in pro wrestling, which I can't disagree. Let's hope that tournament can turn the shit around. Next up, we get a Jungle Boy interview with Tony Schiavone backstage. It's pretty much short and sweet, and Jungle Boy's like, that match changed me. You slapped the shit out of me, like the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. And he's like, we didn't tattletale on you, we don't care, no, we wanted you here. And he's like, I'm ready to beat your ass, I'm gonna treat you like a bitch. And I was like, ooh. Or he's like, I'm gonna make you my bitch. Ooh, either way, he called him a bitch, and you know that means serious when it comes to a wrestling promo. Things are getting spicy. And for your main event of the night, the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and the challenger that holds the right to the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship briefcase, Kenta, taking on the IWGP US Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley and the former IWGP US Heavyweight Champion Lance Archer in a no DQ Falls Count Anywhere match, and this match was just pure fucking chaos from the beginning. Kenta came straight in the ring with the briefcase, bashing people on the head. He hits fucking Lance Archer in the head, and Archer just no-sells that shit, and is just like, you motherfucker, and they starts beating the shit out of Kenta. It just gets fucking wild. We got Jake the Snake at ringside. You know, he might cause a little trouble. You never know. Don Callis keeps alluding to it. He's like, what's he doing down there? And actually a really funny line, Excalibur said, we can't give Jake a live mic, because, you know, there's no telling what that motherfucker's gonna say. We got some really cool sick-ass spots. One of my favorite things, the you can't escape from Kenny Omega, but the moonsault from the top rope with the trash can. Always love that. I've seen him do it a couple times before. I think he actually did it against Mox in their first match, and I've seen him do it maybe once or twice in Japan back in the day, but I love that fucking shit. We saw more chaos, shit broke out, more insane, and Kenta actually brought a Japanese table with him. I am the table, double stomp on Moxley off the stage. We got a backstage brawl in the fucking kitchen. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And they get on a counter, and Excalibur says, they're on that kitchen surface, and JR's like, it's a table, damn it, a table. And then I thought that was fucking really great. Ironically, in wrestling, you know, people get potatoed. Lance Archer literally came in there and hit Kenta with a box of potatoes, and Moxley hit Kenny Omega with a goddamn single potato. We hit him with potato single. He got potatoed by a tater. They eventually make their way back to the ring, and all chaos breaks out. People start interfering, the Good Brothers come in there, shit just goes haywire, and before you know it, the numbers advantage got a hold of Mox and Archer, Magic Killer, and then an assisted one-winged angel on Lance Archer because he's just too goddamn big for Kenny to get up by himself for the 1-2-3 victory. And I noticed Kenta, you know, he left the ring while the Good Brothers and the American Bullet Club were doing their little celebration. He's focused on the outside with Jon Moxley. I still see problems right here. And if you watch the post-Dynamite match press conference, it's crazy. The Forbidden Door's here, and they're already doing a New Japan-style press conference. They definitely took some shots at the boys in Japan, at the Bullet Club over there, at Tamatonga, took a shot at Jay White. It was, so I definitely see something brewing. I'm ready for the American Bullet Club versus the Japanese Bullet Club versus whatever the fuck. I just want to see a goddamn war between these dudes. It'd be really sick. And if you think about it, right now, Good Brothers Impact World Tag Team Champions, Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Champions, Guerrillas of Destiny are the IWGP World Tag Team Champions. So I think we got literally a Bullet Club faction in each different promotion holding the Tag Team Championships. I would love to see a three-way war between all the Tag Team Champions. current, former, and actually it could be a three-way different battle because the Young Bucks are kind of on the fence, and we got the Good Brothers doing the shit with Kenny Omega and Don Callis, and then we got the current still running shit in Japan Bullet Club. I would love to see that. I hope it happens. This week's AEW Dynamite review is gonna get 4 out of 6 beers for me, and the only reason it didn't get more is there was a little bit too much segment heavy. I did like the matches, I like what went on, but I wanted to see a little bit more wrestling because last week was just so goddamn hype. I was ready to get back into that, but it was still a solid show, still had some storyline progression, still had me leaving questions, wondering what's happening with Matt Hardy and Hangman, what's going on with the Good Brothers, what's going on with the whole Forbidden Door shit. I'm ready for it, the women's tournament, great shit. So I want you to like, subscribe, share the video. Wex Breakin to Lawson. I'm out of here, peace.